Hey Soul Fam, this is going to be a really big session today. My nerdy self is about to give you a huge download of what we have been working on here and cracking the code of miracles, and we are together ushering in the golden age of miracles. And that means that it's coming through you, it's coming through me. If you're here, that means you believe in miracles. If you're here, that means you've witnessed miracles. If you're here, that means that you're waiting, like you're like, when is it going to happen? When are we going to start turning water into wine? And that's what we're here to do and to cultivate. So there's certain things that we have to become masterful with. So that's what we're here to talk about. And first, before we even start, I just want to name some of my teachers. So I have a lot of teachers. When I moved to Mexico, I brought like 2 huge, heavy, impractical suitcases full of books and brought them to this very tropical place where nature destroys everything. But here I am still with all of these books, which are my teachers. So here we go. This is what I've learned from. So first, let me tell you about the 4 pillars of miracles. And I'm going to keep talking about this until we're turning water into wine, okay? 1, love, which is the laws of vibrational energy, which is what we study in this class. 2, lightness of being, which means working with different colored lights, which means learning how to feel light in our bodies, how to bring our soul all the way into our bodies and still feel sweet and light and playful, even with all the messed up stuff that happens on earth. 3, forgiveness, which is a huge key in allowing us to access these other things. And number 4, compassion, which gives us superpowers. And I'll be explaining these things over and over from different angles and going into depth on each of them. But some of how I've gotten this information that I have, I'm just going to do a little bibliography today, a short bibliography. This is, of course, not all of the things that I've studied, but these are some of the main things that touch on these topics, okay? So, Hands of Light. This is a book about miracle healing. This talks about working with light. So one of the main ways that we cultivate light is through lightness of being. But in order to experience lightness of being, you have to forgive. Then here's a Tibetan shamanism has largely, heavily influenced me and my work. So I'm just naming this as a teacher. This also talks about healing with form, energy, and light. Again, this talks about the different qualities of different colors of light. And again, lightness of being, which has to do with forgiveness. The wrathful perspective on enlightenment. There's a left-handed path and the right-handed path. So a quote of Carl Jung is that you're not going to reach enlightenment through imagining figures of light. You're going to reach enlightenment through making the dark light. So this path, Agora, is the left-handed path. This is a path of shadow work. This is a path of integrating darkness, integrating death. And this particular book is about the laws of karma. Hinduism has been a huge influence on me, as I study all religions, and they're all maps of consciousness, but Hinduism has a lot of really beautiful gems, especially the law of karma. Now, what we're moving into now is the end of karma. So karma is real and we all have karma, but the way that we end karma is by pardoning others and truly, genuinely repenting and asking for forgiveness for ourselves and for the sins of our ancestors, and dedicating ourselves to serving the collective in whatever way that we have been liberated to. So this book talks a lot about how karma works, and also talks about how to turn darkness into light, because everything, whether dark or light, it's all just consciousness. At the end of the day, it is all light. If you turn on the lights in a dark room, then it's light. Okay, so there's a lot more I could say about that. I'm going to leave it there. This is a book about the mystical aspects of Judaism. This is particularly talking about the red string, or how to protect yourself from envy. This again is basically referring to the laws of karma. So some of the things outlined in this book, it's basically how to energetically protect yourself, but it's basically also referring to the laws of karma. Like, the main things to energetically protect yourself are to not gossip at all or talk bad about anyone, because when you do, it creates holes in your auric field, and this makes you penetrable to energetic arrows. So what is that? That's karma. And then, yeah, it just talks about other similar properties of how to protect yourself energetically, which at the end of the day come down to being a good person and getting back what you put out. So Jewish mysticism has also influenced me. Existential Kink. This is a shadow work book. This book, Carolyn Elliott and her work has been hugely influential on me. She is someone who has studied the left-handed path. Again, this is the feminine path to enlightenment. This has to do with making the darkness light. So this includes practices such as Tong Glen and the Green Tara practice, and anything that has to do with releasing resistance to darkness. So for example, if you only listen to Abraham Hicks, I have certain friends who only listen to Abraham Hicks as their only, I know 2 girls who that's their only spiritual teacher. I'm sorry, if Abraham Hicks is your only spiritual teacher, you are missing something and you are not gonna make it, because you have to both integrate the light and the dark. So you have to alternate between practicing sustained lightness of being and practicing visualizing light, like Carl Jung said, visualizing light and lightness of being. But you have to be able to maintain, and this is like the main premise of this book, you have to be able to maintain the same lightness of being and giggle feeling when facing the most disgusting aspects of your reality. And you have to remember that everything is the creation of the mind of God that's creating whatever messed up reality or whatever dark aspect, it's creating it to experience that. And when we learn how to delight in that and acknowledge that a part of us is consenting and creating that, that's when we are able to transform darkness into light, the all-chemical process. So the premise of this book is having is evidence of wanting, and this is an important complement to any Abraham Hicks that you're listening to. It's the other side. Okay, just have a few more books here, y'all. Soul Healing Miracles. So this is a Taoist perspective on creating miracles. So this is what we're doing here. We're studying miracles. We're anchoring in miracles through our being. This book has so much beautiful information about the organs, how all the organs work together, what our organs actually do. They say that in where I live on the beach, the elements come through so strong that certain people are turning breatharian. And what that means is that we're actually nourishing from the elements. Our organs in the future, when we're super evolved and advanced, our organs are actually more for digesting emotions, right? So the liver is anger, the kidneys are fear, the lungs are grief, etc. So this book works on that, but also the main key about this, so this book works specifically with light, different colors of light, and the main number 1 key ingredient for miracles: forgiveness, 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 forgiveness. Release of all karma. Release those who are in debt to you and your ancestors. Ask forgiveness on behalf of yourself and your ancestors. This is such an important key for miracles. 2 more books. This book is by Cindy Dale. She did ayahuasca 17 times and wrote this book. So it's also talking about light. It's also talking about how spiritual ailments manifest in the physical body and how everything's interconnected and what it's like to work with light to heal the body and energetic boundaries. And this one, less famous, but a hidden gem. This is from a teacher I studied with in Nevada City who is a miracle healer. And he really embodies a lightness of being again. So we need to be able to anchor in a feeling quality of lightness of being in order to be able to manifest miracles. How do we anchor in and maintain a feeling quality of lightness of being? You have to be a master of forgiveness, and you have to be able to hold the light even in the face of darkness, even in the face of the most disgusting things. So I'm probably gonna do a green Tara practice after this. I was gonna add it in the class today, but it's kind of a separate thing. But the green Tara practice has to do with holding that light even in the face of the most scary or disgusting things. So when I'm done with this call, I'll probably make a separate video for that. So look for that on my YouTube channel, the Green Tara Practice Guided Meditation. But for today, we're going to be looking at how to bring world peace and miracles through our own bodies through this DMT breathwork. So thank you for being here. I invite you to go into your heart, drop your mind down into your heart. Take a moment to feel gratitude for all the hard work that you have done in your life to evolve and to heal yourself. And take a moment to wish that anybody else who's tuning into this today also be able to access that same pathway of healing that you are opening on behalf of the collective. Okay, so today's breathwork is going to be helping us master these laws of vibrational energy, the laws of love. So to begin, you can put your hands in this mudra, which unites the hemispheres of the brain, and exhale all the air out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. Deep breaths, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Last one, mouth, mouth. On the exhale, squeeze your stomach, push your hands together, squeeze your eyeballs, look up and hold that as long as you can. Push, pull, squeeze till you shake. And when you're done, you can release and relax everything. So I want you to look at the world and pick one thing that you think is stopping the world from having world peace. What is stopping the world from having world peace? Maybe it's a certain politician or a certain long-standing war. Maybe it's a quality like revenge, lies, feuding. What is this one thing that you see that's stopping the world from having world peace? Okay, now Now, I want you to merge with that thing. I want you to become that thing, whether it's that war, that politician, that revenge. What is that? Become it. Now I want you to see what your human self looks like through the eyes of that thing. Look at yourself through the eyes of that thing. Now go back to being yourself and look at this thing again that you think is stopping the world from having world peace, and see if you have more compassion. Now I want you to notice that bridge between you and the thing. The bridge that compassion allowed you to have. What did you notice when you were in that thing's shoes, looking at yourself? And notice that bridge of connection. What would it take to connect? Remember that you can do this exercise with anything that you're having resistance to, anything that you hate, you find disgusting. You can put yourself in its shoes and you can look at yourself through its eyes, and you can find what that bridge of connection would be. What does it need? Understanding? Does it need to be witnessed? Is it just really a crying child inside? This is compassion. We're going to breathe again. You can briefly open your eyes to put your hands in the mudra. Exhale all the air out through the mouth, squeezing the stomach. Deep breaths, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose, 5 seconds. Nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. Mouth, 3 seconds. Mouth, nose, 5 seconds. Nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. Mouth, 3 seconds. Mouth, nose, 5 seconds. Nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. Last one, mouth. On the exhale, squeeze your stomach, push your hands together, squeegee your eyeballs, look up, and then push and contract everything until you shake and hold as long as you can. And when you're done, you can relax and release everything. Now I want you to think about the evolution of the world and where we're headed and world peace. Imagine that world peace is possible. And if world peace was possible, what is leading the way? What thing, what concept or person or practice is leading the way towards world peace? I just want you to bring that in mind. What's bringing world peace to the world? Now I want you to merge with that thing, whether it's a practice or a quality or a person or group of people. Merge with that thing that you think is leading the way towards world peace. Now I want you to look at your human self through the eyes of that thing that you think is leading the way towards world peace. Now go back to being your human self and look at that thing again and notice that stream of consciousness, that bridge that connects you with this thing. How does that thing live in your life? How does that thing live in you? How can you cultivate that quality within yourself? Beautiful. Okay, so you can briefly open your eyes to put your hands in the mudra. And exhale all the air out through the mouth, squeezing the stomach. Deep breaths, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose, 5 seconds. Nose, nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. Mouth, mouth, 3 seconds. Mouth, nose, 5 seconds. Nose, nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. Mouth, mouth, 3 seconds. Mouth, nose, 5 seconds. Nose, nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. Mouth, mouth, 3 seconds. Mouth, nose, 5 seconds. Nose, nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. Last one, mouth, mouth. Let's squeeze the perineum, squeeze your stomach, push, pull your hands together, lock your chin, squeegee your eyeballs, look up, push and pull, squeeze everything till your whole body shakes. And imagine this shaking is a full cellular reset, shaking you up. Hold as long as you can on the exhale, and then relax and release everything. So now I want you to imagine the toxic aspects of technology, the harmful aspects of AI. Just see all the bad stuff about what's happening with technology right now and how damaging it is to humans. Notice all of the negative, harmful, damaging, toxic aspects of our relationship with technology or how technology is developing. Now I want you to merge with those toxic qualities, become it. See the world through the eyes of that out of balance, damaging, toxic perspective. merge with that toxic aspect of technology. Now I want you to look at your human self through the eyes of that toxic aspect of technology. What do you look like from that point of view? Now I want you to go back to being your human self and look at that thing again and notice, where's the connection? What's the bridge? Where is the understanding, compassion between you and that thing? What does that thing need to come into balance? What does that thing need to come into its exalted form? We just have a couple more layers left of memory, so we can briefly open our eyes to put our hands in the mudra. Exhale all the air out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. Deep breaths, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose, 5 seconds. Nose, nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. Mouth, mouth, 3 seconds. Mouth, nose, 5 seconds. Nose, nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. Mouth, mouth, 3 seconds. Mouth, nose, 5 seconds. Nose, nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. So we're going for a full cellular reset here. So mouth, mouth, deep breaths. On the exhale, you're going to squeeze your perineum, squeeze your stomach, push, pull your hands together, squeegee your eyeballs, look up, hold as long as you can and let your body shake from how you're holding those holds, and feel a total cellular reset when you're holding that and shaking, and then relax and release everything. Now I want you to see all the ways that technology is bringing humans together and bringing us closer to world peace. Now I want you to pick something that stands out as the best, the brightest part of our technology. What's leading the way for world peace through technology? Pick one thing. Now I want you to merge with that thing. What does the world look like through the eyes of that positive quality of technology? Now I want you to use your human light to turn up the volume on that positive quality as you merge with it. Just picture that thing, that technology that's bringing about world peace. Just imagine yourself flowing around the whole world, bringing world peace through that thing as that thing. Just imagine aha moments happening for humans all around the world, moments of forgiveness, moments of peace, moments of understanding, friendship, laughter, community. Just picture it happening. Cleansing, healing, coming together, enlightenment, acknowledgement, information. Now I want you to imagine that all the technology, the external technology, the internet, the TikTok, the YouTube, the guided meditations, imagine that everything disappears. A big solar flash comes, and I want you to imagine that the humans have already everything they need, and that they're just living all the embodiment of the wisdom from within. Imagine humans living in total world peace and inner peace without any cell phones. Living in telepathy, no need for digital currency. Living in harmony with the resources of the earth. We can travel with our light bodies. And what would you have to do in your current living situation to set yourself up to be truly living in harmony with the planet without any external technology? What would it be like for you in your current life to ignite your own inner technology so much that you didn't even need a cell phone? You could literally just call upon whoever you wanted when you wanted and know that they could hear you or see you, or you could summon them. What would it be like to trust that without a digital currency or any kind of currency, that you are enough and that you have enough just with your body, your intelligence, your hands, your talents, what the earth is giving you? What would it be like to just know that you're enough and you have enough and there is enough and everyone has enough and there's always enough, abundance, enough to share? What do you have to share? What do you love to share? What do you want to create more of so that you can share it? What do you love creating? What do you love sharing? Okay, we have one more layer of created memories. So you can briefly open your eyes to put your hands in the mudra. Exhale all the way out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. Deep breaths, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. Mouth, mouth, 3 seconds. Mouth, nose, 5 seconds. Nose, nose, 3 seconds. Nose, mouth, 1 second. Okay, last one, mouth. We're gonna do a full cellular reset. Start with your perineum. On the exhale, squeeze perineum, squeeze stomach, push, pull hands together. Put your shoulders back and down, lock your chin back, look up, squeegee eyeballs, hold as long as you can on the exhale till you shake. Let yourself shake. As you shake, feel this as a cellular reset, and when you're done holding, relax and release everything. You can relax and release everything. So I want you to imagine a world where all humans are telepathic through their heart and through their eyes. So we could speak, but speaking is kind of primitive. So we're mostly just walking around beaming vibes at each other, and we're choosing to be nonverbal. And I want you to imagine that there's also world peace. We're all telepathic through our hearts and eyes, and there's world peace, and there's enough resources, and the resources are balanced and balanced use, and we feel abundant. We're eating healthy food, but we're also nourishing directly from the elements, and we can communicate with plants and trees. We can communicate with animals. The animals receive a peaceful vibe from us. They trust us. Humans also trust each other because everything is transparent. You can't lie. Say you even have a bad thought. Say you have like the desire to manipulate someone and you notice it. The other person can see it too, and you guys just immediately forgive and kind of laugh it off like, oh, look, it's some leftover residual human behavior from the dark ages. But everything's immediately released, forgiven, illuminated. Just imagine that wherever you are, the surroundings are gorgeous. Beautiful plants and animals, healthy. Everyone's really healthy. There's lots of respect. Families are united. Children feel safe. Men feel seen and honored for all the hard work they do and for everything that they are. Men have their place as protectors, providers. Women feel honored and seen for their wisdom, for their beauty, for their love. Now I want you to kind of trace back in time and see how humans got to that point. What had to happen on Earth for the humans to become telepathic and for world peace to finally land? What inner work did you have to do as an individual, and did we have to do as a collective? Just rewind. What kinds of modalities need to be used to help humans get to that point? Do they need to practice forgiveness? Do they need to practice shadow work? How did the humans get to the point where they're all telepathic? and living in world peace, and where men feel honored and women feel honored. And children feel honored. What are all the things that humanity had to go through to get to the point where we can all live in world peace and communicate with each other through our hearts? What do you personally need to do? You, as a person right now, what do you need to let go of or integrate in order to get closer to this state of being? Now I want you to imagine that all of these things that you saw in our meditations today, that you created these new neural pathways in the collective mind. So I want you to dedicate everything that you saw and felt to the honor and service to the collective good. And I want you to picture other people who need that information accessing it. So whatever pathways of peace you just created, imagine that you're leading the way with your machete, creating a new path through the jungle, and that other people are easily able to follow in your footsteps, to find it easy to access compassion, understanding, forgiveness, lightness of being. I want you to notice, what about yourself are you most excited about leading the way on? Just see yourself there in the jungle of the human collective consciousness with your machete, leading the way just through your own embodied existence. What do you feel most excited about embodying or doing or mastering in honor and service of the greatest good of all? You know that as you live your radical, wild truth, that other people would be able to fall in line after you, as if you were you're creating a new archetype is what you're doing. You're creating a new architecture in the collective mind. What radical truth are you willing to embody on behalf of the collective consciousness? Because after you do it, it's going to be easy. What do you wish everyone would do? I remember when I was working in a kindergarten class, there was a book called What If Everyone Did That? What one thing are you willing to embody? And what would the world be like if everybody did that? You came here to be a leader during this time. You came here to be a midwife. You came here to lead the way through your embodied example, through your courageous heart, through your willingness to forgive, through your willingness to put in the work and dedication to cultivate yourself and to become a master. You are a master. You have been a master in other lifetimes, and you returned now to remember the way home, to remember the way to wholeness. Always remember the way home. The way to wholeness is through your own heart. Your own heart has all of the answers. I invite you to slightly bow your head, indicating that your third eye is connecting with your heart. And I invite you to see a glow happening in the center of your chest now, where your heart chakra is, and I want you to make a commitment to yourself to listen to your own inner guidance, to silently commit to yourself. Promise yourself that you will hear your inner voice when it speaks to you, and that you will act on whatever it's telling you, even if it makes you feel like a crazy person, or even if you're going to be going first at something. What are you going to be going first at? You're creating a new archetype, a new architecture. Your courageous heart is leading the way. You signed up for this. This is what you came here for. You came here to live your courageous truth. And every single step of the way, the path will be revealed through your own wise heart. We're going to breathe one more time just to seal all this in. Briefly open your eyes to put your hands in the mudra. Exhale all the air out through your mouth, squeezing the stomach. Deep breaths, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. 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 This is the last one. Mouth, mouth. On the exhale, squeeze, perineum, squeeze, stomach, push, pull hands together. Lock your shoulders back and down. Lock your chin back to your neck and squeegee your eyeballs and look up and hold as long as you can on the exhale. Let your body shake a little, setting the intention to shake it up to cellular reset. Hold as long as you can and then relax and release everything. And relax and release everything. So as a rule of thumb, when we're raising our kundalini like that, starting at the perineum and raising it up, you don't want it to get locked in your head. So if you feel that burst of kundalini energy in your head, I want you to then imagine that it's bursting and that it's coming down. And then if you master that, the first thing is just first to get it up. So first practice getting it up there. When you get it up there, then imagine it then coming down like a fountain. And when you master that, imagine it circulating in a giant toroidal field, cleansing everything, and that way you stay balanced and you don't get like Kundalini syndrome in your head. So for all of you who are still here at the end, thank you so much for being on this journey with me. The work you're doing is so important. You are leading the way. You are important. You are the new gods and goddesses of this new paradigm. You are creating new archetypes and architectures in the collective reality. You came here to do this. You are a master. I bow to you. And if you need support in this, if you need support accessing your own inner wisdom, hearing that voice inside of you, or with forgiveness, compassion, lightness of being, miracles, laws of vibrational energy, feel free to reach out at lovelikeanocean.com.